Hello friends. So far I have completed about 1 week of posting daily tutorial. So today actually I was running out of idea, not sure where to begin, which tutorial I would show you. So before I go there, I just want to have a quick recap what I have covered. So in my first tutorial I showed you how to model this kind of simple screws. Then I came up the idea of modeling a simple DAC or digital to analog converter in Blender. I showed you how to model different aspect of it. Then I also applied material, touched upon how to do the texturing the right way. Then I came across this kind of adhesive that is normally found in India. Not sure if you are from other country, it is available in your country. I got very intrigued by this kind of group pattern. Okay, and to tell you about my idea, I mean, it is okay that if you follow some other tutorial, do it. But I have been doing it, frankly, to tell you that I have been doing it for last 3-4 years, but I was never getting that kind of confidence by following other tutorial, because the satisfaction that you will get if you do a model which you see in your regular item, nothing can beat that, right? That looks as if you have done something from your own. So with that thing in mind, I thought, okay, let's try to model this thing, and I have come up with this kind of design. You can agree that it looks very similar to it, and obviously as it is something available very native to my locality, there is no tutorial available anywhere. I came up with my own idea and did this design. The purpose of this tutorial is to teach you my idea, and I'll be eagerly waiting for your comment how I did it. Okay, and maybe you guys can share your idea. Please drop in your tutorial if you post it there. Okay, I'll be going through that and give comment on that. So without any further ado, let's start modeling this thing in here. Just to tell you, this was the reference model which I took to model it, but I memorize it. I really don't read. Maybe you can search it for in Google and get this model if you get interested. So let's jump to Blender and start modeling that thing. So I think let me do one thing. Let me copy this as a reference. Okay. Uh, Let me import it as a reference here. But I am telling you, I am not going to model it exactly like that. That is not the goal of this thing. Uh, okay. But just to tell, this is the brand called Fevicol. I don't know if it is available in other part of the world. So how I took the approach is that I started first doing a, if you see, it is basically a cylinder. On that cylinder, it is the one of that side is tapered. Okay, I mean, it looks like it is beveled. So I followed the same thing. What I did, I added a cylinder directly here. Go to edit mode. By the way, let me go to the screencast key. Okay, so I went to this cylinder, and as this groove is cut on the slanted surface, so what I will do, I will just apply bevel on here. Okay, you see I'm just adding one segment bevel. What it will do, it will create this kind of shape that we are looking for. Now what I can do, I can just do an inset, because if you look into this, on the top part there is some groove here, so I am creating it upfront. I can scale it a little bit more. Now, what I have seen, I mean, which works best for this kind of modeling, let me teach you that thing. So, what I need to do, let me go to front perspective and see this line. If I go to front perspective, this is the central line, right? And I begin that cylinder with 32 vertex. Okay, so if I press Alt and click it, you will see it is 32 vertex. So what I'll do, I will just simply go to face mode and select 4 such segment from here. Just a minute. Sorry guys, I got one call. So let me jump back to Blender. So as I was explaining, referring to this one, I will take these 4 segments only, and rest of the faces I can just delete it. Okay. Now you will see what I'll doing next. Now for this kind of groove, what I need to do is to cut some, make it a bit more slanted. So let me do one thing. Let me go like this, because it is a bit more slanted. Okay. So what I'll do, I will just bevel it a bit more like this, so it is even more slanted. Maybe what I can do, I can put it like this. I think this is okay, and just insert it a little bit. Okay. Now like last time, let me do reduce the height a little bit. You can delete it later, but keeping it for the time being. Let's delete all the other faces. Okay. By the way, screencast again got disabled for some reason, don't know why. And now is the interesting part. Interesting part is how to cut this kind of hole shape. Okay, so for that, let's go to front view and add a circle. But this time I will not add a 32 vertex circle. I will add a 8 vertex circle, and I will align it to the current view, so that it is aligned to my view, which is the front orthographic. Now, as anytime I apply this, change the default alignment from the one which Blender gives. If you see, go verify the item, rotation got applied. So that means I need to apply the rotation. Okay, like scale of this one thing. Now, I did just move it along Y. Again, go to front perspective, and with that object origin selected, let me go to edit mode, go to vertex, and scale it. Now move it to this place. Okay, like this. Maybe move a little bit here, scale it. So what I'll try to do, I will take it like this, and so that it roughly aligns with this line. Okay, again, you can spend time with this thing. I'm not going to judge you for that. I have seen that this works best because maintaining the topology become easy if we follow this way. Now with scale, rotation, everything applied, what I will do, I'll go to edit mode, select everything, control, and then select this circle. Then from mesh option, I will select knife project. Now I don't need the circle, I can hide it, maybe also disable in the render. You will see this cut has come up here, but how to do the next steps, that is interesting. I will go to the top view, because if you see that groove were multiple, right, on that around the periphery, around the circumference of it, I will not be doing it manually. I will use Blender's own native tools to facilitate with that. So to do that, let's go to vertex mode, enable the X-ray mode, and simply delete these vertices. Okay, now again go to the modifier option, generate. Let's add a mirror modifier and enable the clipping. Okay, again go to front perspective. Now you see we are somewhere there. Okay, so what we'll do, let me do like this. Sorry, I am again getting another call. Okay guys, back again. So where were we? We're at this position, like all the other time. Let me add the profile shape as 1. Doesn't matter. Yeah, 2 is okay for the time being. What I'll do now, if you recall that reference diagram here, I need to cut that groove. So how to do that? So it is very easy to do that. What I will do, I'll first go to this perspective, use the knife cut tool, enable that, press the A key so that it got that angle constant. I will just cut it. Okay. Now look at the magic what I am doing now. Now what I'll do, this vertex, I will extrude along the Z, snap it up to this vertex. So I'll press Ctrl and snap it there. Similarly for this vertex, extrude Z, snap it up to here. Okay. Now I don't need these faces. I just remove it. And now if you remember in my that screw tutorial add-on, I introduced you to that F2 add-on. That becomes very handy. You just use it to fill the gaps. Okay, and it will take care of all this thing. Now I don't need this line. Okay, now if you look at this, what I have done. So with this approach, what happened, these two lines, they become aligned perfectly, because that is ultimately going to create the curvature. So if you follow this, there is nice round curvature here, right? That will follow. But if you just normally you just cut it or extrude or it, that will never be proper. Okay, that's why you need to follow this approach. Now as you can expect, what I need to do, I need to apply some bevel, right? So what I'll do, let me add a loop cut here, and let me see if I apply a bevel, how it appears. Looks good. Okay, it has created nice quad. But if you see, this face is not quad, so what I have to do, I just have to join this vertex, and it has created a triangle. So don't need to worry, I'll just add a loop cut here, it will become a quad. Okay, so with this thing done, now you can ask me, okay, this part is done, what's next? I will come to it. We have not yet created this circular thing, right? It is very easy. Okay, maybe for beginners you might get intimidated, but for experienced user, they know how to do it. So just you need to do one empty. You have to add, and you need to use one modifier to add a array. Okay, so if you remember, for there's some mathematics involved. If you remember, I took 1, 2, 3, 4 such strips, and as I did this cylinder with 32 vertices, that means it had 32 faces. So of those 32, I kept only 4. So that means I can have 8 such segments. So in the array count, I can add 8. Okay. Now you can say, they are not yet rotating on the circle. It is very easy. What you need to do in this array, instead of relative offset, choose object offset. And in the object, you need to just map this empty. So here is the empty. I think this is the one, right? Let me see, empty 02. Yeah. So empty 02 is selected here. Yeah. And this empty, I need to rotate along the Z by the same 45-degree angle. Why 45-degree? Because 360 divided by 8 is 45-degree. Okay, so now we can see that I am getting to that shape, but our job is not yet done. Okay, why? Because as a side product of array, it actually going in roundabout, right? So it actually merges many vertices and causes duplicate vertex. So like in another, the screw modifier I showed you using the weld modifier, so I will use the same weld modifier. Okay, now I can let me, before applying all the modifier, let me also add a subdivision, and we verify how it looks now. We are happy, it looks pretty good now at this point. So at this point, what I can do, let me see if I move it along Z. Now let me, I think I can just simply remove these vertices. Okay, I don't need it. Maybe I can remove this. Okay, looks good to me. Okay, and what else? I don't need the subdivision at this point. I can apply it. Let me go to object mode, apply it, and I think our job is done. Okay, now I can apply a subd, and we are at this position. Now like other time, what I can do, by the way, if you refer this thing, there is some little groove here, right? So what I'll do, I'll just let me verify if there is no duplicate vertex. I will extrude it along Z little bit. extrude S a little bit just to have a little boundary loop, then extrude S again. Now I can use the grid fill to fill up this thing. Now I just apply a bevel here. Okay, now you tell me, how is it? I hope you'll agree that it looks very near to it. Now you can experiment on your own with different cylindrical count to match the exact group count. Maybe T3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 were there. So if I want to create 6 such group, as a hint, if I start with 4 face, so I can create a cylinder with 24. Then I will come up with this kind of thing. But I am leaving it up to you. You decide how you would like to take this up. So for the time being, let me apply this simple blue marble material and you look at this beauty. Perfect, right? And we can verify it using the matte cap. You don't need all this thing, fancy material. Look at this. Beautiful, isn't it? See, without any boolean or any complex techniques, I have created this so easily in such a short time. Okay, so I hope you liked it. Enjoy this short tutorial. Please drop in your comments how it went, what could have been better. Okay, till then, bye bye, guys. Thank you. Please like, subscribe. Waiting for your feedback. Bye.